Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Billy Hackworth with BackwoodsPursuit.com, and today we're going to be talking about TideWe's HR-F700 rangefinder. All right, first of all, the TideWe products, is a relatively new brand of things that have been out, and you've seen the ground blinds, you've seen all these different types of products that are out there from TideWe. And honestly, when it first starts popping up, you think, if you guys are familiar with Temu, you kind of think it's a Temu version of hunting gear, but I'm gonna tell you, it's not the case at all. Okay, I was very skeptical about getting some of their products in and testing them out, but so far, so good. We got some ground blinds and some other things to talk about too that they've sent us. But first, I want to talk about this rangefinder. This has been so far. This one has kind of caught me off guard, big time. This is the HR-F700. Now they have an F900 900-yard version of it. But this is the one that they had sent me, which is plenty good enough for, South Central Kentucky, Eastern Mountainy type area. Typically our shots aren't over about 200 yards anyway. Now when you get out west, if you're one of those long range guys that like to shoot 800-900 yards, this is not, you want to go to the 900 yard version of this, not the 700. But for what I see myself doing in the near future, this is, this is more than capable to handle that. So I have a bino harness on my chest. This fits the pockets just fine. Actually, it's quite a bit smaller than a lot of the rangefinders. And just as an example, this is here's an impact from Vortex, and you can look at some size comparison here to how wide they are in that note. This one's just a little bit taller, a very minimal amount, but you can see that they're pretty close to about the same size as far as that way goes, but it was a little bit smaller. Now, number one, it's small and compact, right? Like a rangefinder should be. It fits anywhere you want to put it, or anywhere you would put a normal rangefinder. Okay. Two, it has all kinds of different settings on the inside when you're ranging. You can put your two fingers on top. One's for power and or range, and the other one is for your modes, meters, yards, whatever it may be. Okay. And it has a scan mode, so when you're up and you're ranging and you're holding that button down as you have a deer or a turkey or an elk or bear or whatever, and it's walking across the terrain, you can just hold that button down and it will continue to change, continually shooting a beam in order to keep the yardage up to date. If it's coming in, if it's going away, you don't have to keep hitting the clicker. You'll see that a lot, or hear that a lot. You'll hear people on the hunting shows when it'll go click, 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 click. As they're walking, you don't have to do that. Just hold it down, keep it on whatever you're looking at, move back and forth, it'll change. It's quick, it's super fast. Just as an example, I've got some trees over here that are, I don't know, roughly 100 and something yards away. Click. 117 yards. Just as fast as any rangefinder on the market. It has a nice focus ring here. It's very easy to move, but it's not too loose to where it changes all the time. That's what I really like about the focus ring on this. It's got some rigidity to it, so it's not just flopping all the way. When you put it in your pocket, you don't have to keep adjusting it all the time. I do like the different modes that it has. But what really, there's two things that I'd like to mention before we end this video, and these two things are what I think are really cool about this rangefinder. One, it's rechargeable. Okay, I charged this in March, when I was sent this in March, and I just yesterday had to charge it back, and it is November 3rd. Just had to put it back on the charge yesterday, and I went all through turkey season. It sat in my gearbox all summer long, And then we're 3 months into deer season in Kentucky, and I just on November 3rd had to put it back on the charger. It took about 15 minutes to charge it back up, and now it's at full capacity, and we're going to see how long this takes as well. So that's one of the things that I really love about this rangefinder, is you don't have to worry about necessarily about carrying an extra battery with you. Don't get me wrong, all batteries die, guys. You got to make sure you charge this, but you know, on the way to the stand, if you're driving your pickup truck, plug it up, pop it out, you're good to go for a long time. The other thing is, this is a sub $100 rangefinder, okay? That's right, I said it, sub $100 rangefinder. And I'm going to tell you, I've had Bushnell arcs, I've had the Impact, I've tested it against all of those. The trigger speed is just as fast. The size is the smallest one of all three, and this is substantially cheaper than any rangefinder on the market. I think they're like 80 bucks right now, especially if you're a budget hunter, and I consider myself a budget hunter. For the most part, I don't go out here and buy $1,000 rangefinders. I'm overly impressed with this. You guys, you know, take my word for it. You don't have to go out here and buy a $400, $500, $600 rangefinder. This thing's under 100 bucks, probably like 80 bucks. You're going to get this rangefinder for. That's unheard of in today's industry. So, anyways, you know, this is one I'm really glad they sent to me, because it debunked every opinion that I had about TideWe right off the bat. And we got some more really cool stuff to talk about with TideWe as well. But other than that, guys, this is the TideWe HR-F700. They have an F900 yard version as well. Jump on their website, check this out. You're not going to be disappointed in this rangefinder, not even a little bit, I promise you. Especially how good it works and how much it's going to cost you. Thanks for joining us again on BackwoodsPursuit.com. I'm Billy Hackworth. We'll see you guys in the field. Have a great day, and God bless.